Okay, so we're supposed to find the missing thing in the bottom. We got 61, a 12, and an F. So, how do we find X in this picture right here, Carson? Can we use Pythagorean theorem to do it?
No.
No. Because we need at least two sides to do Pythagorean theorem. So we got to use trigonometry. So it's been a while. Again, this is something we haven't done since last year, but you take one of the angles, 61, or this would be like 29. You take this angle, and relative to this angle, what two sides, you need a side you know already, and then the side you're looking for. What sides are we looking at here? Opposite, hypotenuse. Which trig function uses opposite and hypotenuse? So, sine. So, katoa. So is sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. So that means sine of the angle, you feed sine the angle, and it spits out the ratio opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, how did we solve this for x last year?
Cross multiply.
Kind of.
Wait, actually.
There's not really anything to cross multiply here, but
Over 1.
okay, if x is on the bottom, what do we do about that? Multiply by x. Multiply by x. So over here what happens is the times x divided by x just goes away. And over here we have x times sine of 61 degrees equals 12. Then how do we solve this for x? How do you get rid of a multiplied value? Divide. Sine of 61 is some weird decimal number that your calculator tells you. But
0.8746.
yeah, just like yesterday, we're rounding the fourth decimal place. So, Will, what'd you get?
0.8746. $13.7.
Oh, does it say the tens place?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the final answer, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, you could
So 13.7.
You could plug this all in at once. You don't have to plug in sine of 61 by itself. Okay, 13.7. Okay, your answer should make sense in the triangle. Like the hypotenuse should be a bit bigger than the legs, right? So 13.7 seems reasonable. Okay, number 11.
Actually, 11.
So we got a 38 of 5.
So
Okay.
opposite over adjacent?
Yeah, yes. Which trig function do we need? So relative to this angle, what two sides am I looking at here? Opposite, adjacent. Which trig function uses opposite and adjacent? Tangent. So it's tangent of the angle equals opposite 5 over adjacent x. Guys, pay attention. Don't goof around. Alright, if so x is on the bottom again. There's kind of a, you guys see what happened last time? Basically, the x went up here, and the tangent of 38 went down here. That's basically what happened. We multiplied by x to move it up, and we divided by tangent of 38 and it moved down. So x equals 5 divided by tangent of 38.
Yes. What if x is on top?
Okay, let's pretend x had been on top. What would we do to solve this for x?
Multiply by.
Times 5. So it's just 5 times tangent of 38.
It'll be on top on the.
All right, number 13. Find the measure of the angle. Let me draw it real quick. A little bit sloppy Joe there.
So would it,
Angle is down here. So, we're going to set it up kind of the same. Relative to this angle, what two sides do I have right here?
Opposite adjacent.
Opposite adjacent. So which trig function is that? Tangent. So it's tangent of the angle, but this time we don't know what the angle is. So I'm just going to put tangent of A equals opposite over adjacent. Now, how do I figure out what A is? We did this a little bit yesterday. How do I find the missing angle? If tangent of the...
It's the
-1 inverse.
Yeah, tangent inverse. If tangent of the angle equals the ratio, then tangent inverse
51.
of the ratio will give me the angle. Round to the nearest tenth again. 51 point what?
0.3.
so Tom, you just multiplied 24 and cos 9?
So it would be 15 is opposite of A. So opposite over hypotenuse is sine. Sine of A equals 15 over 17. Okay, 15. Now these are
But
getting
it's adjacent over hypotenuse.
on 12.
Oh, 10.
Oh, I thought you said 12. Yeah. On 15, it just says solve the triangle. Solve the triangle means find all of the missing parts. So we're going to have multiple answers here. Round lengths to the 10th and measurements to the nearest 10th. So we're still rounding to the same spot. Okay. So over on 15 it says angle A is 38 degrees and side B is 5. That's all it tells us. So how many missing parts do we have here? We've got, yes, 2 missing sides, A and C, and we got, actually we only got 1 missing angle, don't we? We only got 3 missing parts. The 90-degree angle is given to us, so we don't need that. So yeah, what's the easiest way to find angle B? Pretty quick.
Add 39 and 38.
Yeah, these 3 angles have to add up to 180. So you can do 180 minus 90 is 90 minus 38. Basically on a right triangle you just do 90 minus 1 acute angle and that will give you the other acute angle. So that would be 58. So angle B equals 58 degrees.
52.
Okay, sorry, 52.
52.
Okay, and then let's say side A. How could I set up for side A? Okay, start with an angle. Relative to this angle, what side am I looking for and what's the side I have already?
Opposite over adjacent.
Opposite and adjacent. Which trig function uses opposite and adjacent? So it's tangent of the angle equals opposite over adjacent. How do I solve this for A?
Multiply 5.
Right, since it's A divided by 5, to get rid of the divide by 5, you just multiply by 5. So it's 5 times tangent of 38. Okay, how would I set up for C? Actually, since we have A, technically you could do Pythagorean theorem, But since A is a rounded off answer, it might be more accurate just to do trigonometry to make sure you get an accurate answer for C. So, starting with my angle down here, C is the what side? Hypotenuse. 5 is the what side? Adjacent. Which function uses hypotenuse and adjacent? Cosine. Cosine of the angle should equal adjacent 5 over hypotenuse C. So we got the variable on the bottom again. Do you guys remember how we did that a few minutes ago?
Cosine divided by cosine.
Yeah, these two kind of switch places. So C equals 5 divided by cosine.
6.3.
Jim does not approve. Sniff, sniff. I wonder if you can hear Gracie on the.
Yes, you can.
You can.
You want.
You already looked it up.
Uh-huh.
Okay, 17. A is 3, B is 8. So we need. Okay, we don't have any angles on this one besides 90. What's the easiest way to find side C on this one? Since we already have these two sides. Yeah, we don't need to do trig, although we eventually could, but 3 squared plus 8 squared equals C
73.
squared.
Square root of 73.
Okay, so C is the square root of 73.
It doesn't come out nice.
73 is prime. Now we're gonna leave it like that. Well, actually it does say round to the 10th place, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. You can't use
Okay.
it.
Let's go ahead and round it, turn as decimal.
8.5. That makes it a lot easier.
Okay, so,
Downstairs.
now we gotta find angle A or B. I'm just gonna choose A, I guess. So angle A,
We could do opposite over.
yeah, it's probably, I don't wanna use the hypotenuse because 8.5 is a rounded answer. So it's best not to use it. Let's use, yeah, opposite and adjacent. So which trig function is that? Tangent. So it's tangent of angle A should equal its opposite over its adjacent. So what do we need to plug in the calculator?
Tangent and the inverse.
Tangent inverse of 3/8.
1.6.
And that is degrees, right? We're talking about an angle. Okay. For B, what's the easiest way to do that?
Well, since we know it.
You could do like tangent inverse of 8/3, but the easiest way would be 90 minus the answer we just got, right? 90 minus 20.6 would give us the other angle, so that would be 69.4. We're doing all right. How far did I say we were going?
30.
Ooh,
You should probably say like till 25 or something.
that's ambitious.
We know.
Yeah, 25 should be better.
Or
Well,
20.
25 through 30 is just one.
What I say.
And 25 to 30 is no problem.
Yeah.
Because
And we don't
solving
wanna do
triangles
that.
ends at
24.
24.
Okay, so what the heck?
You know the math problems bad when the math teacher says that.
I didn't see the 19 and 20.
19.
I don't know what they were. Doesn't demonstrate the relationship. Yeah, well, that's fine. We'll skip those.
What in the world?
What'd you say?
Nothing.
Cash money.
Yeah, I just say that.
Is there any other type of money?
No, just.
Are we going to 30 still?
Yeah. Okay, it's the same thing. Well, actually, these should go faster. Do you guys know what changes on 21?
No.
We don't know what the other one is.
They're special triangles. So technically, we could use trigonometry, but
Oh.
if we use our special triangle knowledge, which do we have special triangle knowledge?
No.
That's the question. You guys remember the ratio on a 30, 60, 90?
Yeah.
So this one was a
1, 2,
Square 30.
and this one's supposed to be 45. I didn't draw it very well. There, that's better.
1 square root of 2.
Alright, so this means like the hypotenuse is twice as big as the short leg, the long leg is square root of 3 times the short leg. This means that on 45, 45, 90s the legs are the same, the hypotenuse is square root of 2 times bigger. Alright, so on this one it's a 30, 60, 90, the hypotenuse is 10. That would be like this one. So what is the short leg?
5.
Right, 2 to 1. That means it's twice as big. So if this is twice as big as this, 10 divided by 2 is 5. If the short leg is 5, how do I find the long leg? How do I go from here to here?
5 square root of 3.
Times square root of 3. So it's 5 square root of 3. It also did want us to say angle B. What's angle B gotta be? 60. So let's go ahead and say that. So you guys don't have to draw the picture. This 5 side, since this is angle A up here, this little 5 down here would be called side A with like a little a. So angle A is across from side A. And then since this is angle B over here, this is side B over
That
here.
makes sense.
So
So,
it's already happened already.
okay. Well, you don't have to draw, but I kind of need to draw it because I need something to point at.
No. Literally, not that one.
Well, you need to be considerate of Kira.
Huh?
You need to be considerate of Kira because she has to sit next to
It
you.
burns Will.
She enjoys some of my puns.
I realize what the laughs are.
Thank you.
Maybe you should.
Then maybe it was fate that you sat there.
You put her there.
You did put me here.
That's because it was like the only open seat almost.
Yeah, you gave me this fate. How dare you? Actually, I was originally in the middle and then I switched with Canyon.
Oh yeah, cause
Canyon put me here.
yeah.
Canyon's got to be in the center. What we call high needs individual.
Oh. What?
High needs individual.
High maintenance. Okay, so
I don't understand.
Or you just keep on saying huh over and over again. Nothing gets annoyed.
Yeah.
And they stop saying.
so what's angle L have to be on this one? 45, 90, right? And then, okay, if this leg is 9 on a 45, 90, what's the other leg gonna be? 9. This is side L. L's not the best letter to use. I'm gonna make it cursive so it doesn't look like a 1. So the hypotenuse would be called side N because angle N is down here. So if the legs are 9 on a 45, 90, What's the hypotenuse?
9 squared root of 2.
9 square root of 2. See, these don't take that long.
Nah.
25. And the word problems really aren't scary either. You're just going to draw little pictures. Well, it looks... Okay. Actually, did they draw it for us on 25? Use trig ratios to solve a problem. Round lengths to the nearest unit. What does round to the nearest unit
No
mean?
decimal place.
Round to the ones place. Yeah, no decimal. And angles to the nearest tenth of a degree. Okay, using the figure, find the distance across the river from A to C. So basically, we are finding the hypotenuse, right? And they give us a 64 right here degrees and a 320 right here. So we're looking for AC, which is the hypotenuse of the x right there. Okay, relative to this angle, what sides am I working with here? 320 is the what?
Adjacent.
X is the hypotenuse. Which trig function uses adjacent and hypotenuse? Cosine. So it's cosine of the angle equals adjacent over hypotenuse. If x is on the bottom, what happens? We multiply to x by x to move it up. We divide by cosine of 64, move it down. And we're rounding to the ones place.
730.
This is meters. Don't stop me.
Can we do the evenings?
No. Okay, 27. Once you get the picture drawn, it's just going to be a right triangle, just like they drew on 25. So it's not, they're not trying to trick you here. A 40-foot wire supporting a pole. Do you guys know what that's going to look like in the picture? So,
The wire is
360, 90, it's going to be the hypotenuse.
have you guys ever looked like a radio tower? Tower's going straight up and they have
It's right there.
guy. What are you talking about?
The tower up on the hill.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were pointing in the room.
Bro.
And they got wires coming down to to support the tower. So the pole goes up, the wire comes down. The wire's at a 68-degree angle with the ground. So where's the go? Right there. The pole is going to be perpendicular with the ground, right? 90 degrees. How far up the pole is the wire attached? So what are we looking for?
Opposite over hypotenuse.
We're looking for, yeah, this thing right here, this long leg. So, oh, it said how long was the wire?
40.
40 feet. So that's the wire right there, is 40 feet. Relative to 68 degrees, X is the what side? Opposite. 40 feet, or the wire is the what side? Hypotenuse. So which trig function uses opposite hypotenuse? Sine of the angle, 68 degrees, should equal opposite over hypotenuse. How do we solve that for x? Times 40. It's feet. The wire was feet. See, it's not scary. Yeah. That's what the assignment's about. Okay, 29. A stretch of whitewater rapids has a 5-degree angle of depression. Okay, So that means, you know how like the riverbed sinks as it goes towards the ocean, that's what makes the water go down, right? The angle of depression, now that's kind of a new thing. That means the angle that's, so straight ahead, that's like 0 degrees. It means going down, if you're looking down, that's a 5-degree drop. Does that make sense? Well, if that's 5 degrees going down, you guys know what it would be up right here? 5 degrees. So if you're looking up from the bottom, it's 5 degrees going up. Anyway, it's a very skinny triangle.
Tangent of 5 degrees equals.
The vertical drop is 75 feet. What does that mean? What's vertical mean?
Up and down.
That's this guy. And what are we looking for? The length of the rapids. What do you guys think? Would the rapids be like the bottom leg, or would it be the hypotenuse? It would be the river's up here. This is like below ground. This is the rapids up here. So we're looking for the hypotenuse. So, looks like the last one actually, doesn't it? Relative to the 5 degrees, 75 is the opposite. X is the hypotenuse.
So why are we looking for the hypotenuse again?
Huh?
Are we looking for the hypotenuse again?
It says find the length of the rapids.
Wouldn't that be the other leg?
That's the bottom. The other leg would
This
be
is like below the ground. This would be like the ground distance. I don't think they want the ground distance though.
Oh, so
They want the rapids, the top of it.
Yeah, it says find the length of the rapids. The rapid, this is the river up top, Will. This is the picture of the river like going down the hill.
okay, so it's in there.
Anyway, so we want opposite and hypotenuse, which is sine. Sine of 5 degrees equals opposite over hypotenuse. So x is on the bottom, so you kind of switch x and sine of 5. So it's 75 divided by 75. Yep. I'm done.